Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura, if you're new to the channel. It's my birthday today. It's the last day of Virgo, but I'm really like a Scorpio. All my under planets, my sun and everything is in Scorpio. I'm more of a Scorpio. I don't even resonate with a Virgo because, Virgos are very methodical and they're very organized and they're usually good students. Was not me. I'm more of a passionate Scorpio. I have a sting. And you know why? Because all my under planets, like I said, and everything else is in conjunction with Scorpio. So, I believe that if you're born into a planet, like a time, a zodiac rather, if you're born into a zodiac, well, it's the zodiac that you need to master. That's what I think because it's like I am nothing like a Virgo, nothing. I like a tidy atmosphere, but I think that's my OCD. I don't think that that's Virgo. Anyway, for those of you that are new to the Scorpio channel, my name is Laura. We're going to do a general message for Scorpio. And I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we're going to take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play out as karmic themes to help you understand, hey, why are you attracting who you're attracting? Why is that situation playing out the way that it is within your connection? What you can do to stop the karmic cycles that keep you blocked in a perception that really takes you out of your true self, your higher self. The higher self is a God part of self, and that's the energy that you're supposed to be in. And that's the energy of love. When we are open to receiving and when we're in the present moment and we're happy and we're at ease, well, that's when it's we're able to manifest. But if we're angry and if we haven't let go and if we haven't forgiven, then what happens is that we're holding on to an actual energy that is preventing us from manifesting. See, you're only in physical form to learn and to manifest. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. So the habits and the behaviorisms that are formed from that human experience a lot of times are built on very imbalanced experiences. So if you grew up in an environment that, you know, was abusive and the perception was, hey, you're not worthy. You're not worthy for me to spend money on, so I'm not going to pay for your college education. I'm not going to pay to help you in any way to succeed, but I'm going to help the other children in the family. Well, clearly, well, then that's going to be, like I said, why a perception is created because you lived that perception. And there would always be a fear of being isolated. There would always be a fear, even though that experience is long gone, it happened in childhood, and you might have seen a million and one good experiences until you actually integrate the spiritual lesson. And the spiritual lesson was whatever the experience was that was traumatizing to you. And that traumatizing experience was one that you had to live a karmic theme. And the karmic theme was, again, out of alignment with your true self, your higher self. So when we are integrating the spiritual lesson, what we're doing is we're seeing how we contributed to the imbalances within the connection. Because a lot of times we're not supposed to be with our past life karmic mate, someone that makes us feel bad about ourselves. We're not supposed to be in a connection with someone that's in a lower vibration. We're not supposed to abandon ourselves. See, we abandon ourselves when we're caring more about a relationship than about our own needs. And codependency is all about that. And so I don't know why, because I haven't pulled any cards yet, but I feel like you are connected to someone that's very codependent. So they're used to being spoiled. They're used to having their way. So even though that there's a spiritual connection between you and them, it's creating a lot of animosity between both of you because your perception of what this person should do and what their perception is are two different things. I don't know why I'm feeling it. We're going to see why. Again, sometimes I get messages before I pull cards and see how it fits into the theme. All right, let's see what the underlining energy is. Guys, don't forget to check out the description box if you want a private reading. Again, check it out. There are discounted rates for you guys. And check out the merchandise. And if you're someone that's in need of shadow healing coaching, well, $7.99 on YouTube will get you that. You know, if you've signed up and you haven't gotten notified yet, please again reach out to me through my email. All right, because sometimes YouTube is a little weird. And while there aren't that many signups, I am doing it more privately through Zoom. But as the group gets bigger, we're going to be moving on to YouTube. All right, let's see what the underlining word is. It is tactlessness. That's the underlining energy. So I feel like the underlining energy is that you're connected to someone that's in a low vibe energy. And again, I feel like they're codependent. I feel like they're somebody that they compartmentalize in relationships. So they either have feelings towards you, but it's like almost like I feel like they don't know what to do with those feelings, first of all. And, what's coming to the place is almost like this person's getting very impatient, realizing that, hey, you're not coming back. This isn't a game. And the thing is, you were impatient a long time ago because, again, this person is just stays in a low vibration trying to make you angry again trying to trigger you, I feel like. And we're going to see why. Well, they have love blocks, first of all. It's like they have too many bad memories of relationships, is their past relationships. And, so it's about when a person has blocks, it's all about the fact that they have issues in intimacy and in trust. And it's those people that hurt people, right? It's hurt people hurt people. Well, if the person doesn't give you time and doesn't give you energy, which this person knew who you were, like I said, it's like there was a sense that there was a very strong connection here, but this person ruined the connection because they wanted everything their way. And they have love blocks. Again, how things should be, how things like what the relationship needs to look like for them, but it's all based on, you know, uh, not not truth, family karma, this person's ego. It's all about their comfort. They don't really ever get to know the other person. It's like, it's not that they're not attracted. It starts off with attraction and passion, and then it goes super fast. And then what happens is that, then the love fades, and this person usually doesn't have strong feelings because, they haven't given that much time, but it's the person that slept with them, that gave to them, that, because they bought the lies in the beginning. So everything's a facade in the beginning. It's not that this person doesn't like, they're in lust. But lust, we move in really fast. They get what they want, and then all of a sudden they're looking at that person. The person's not as attractive anymore because in their mind, they're thinking, you know, everything and anything. This person's with me for my money. This person, what does this person do for work? Who are these? What are their friends? They begin to judge the person from the exterior now, not just their looks, but their job. Why they slept with them that fast. What do they want to be with them for? Like their own mind begins to look for problems. The thing is, with you, they didn't really give you the time, but their feelings have grown stronger and stronger. And where this person normally, again, rushes in, they get the person to fall head over heels for them, and then they don't feel the same way anymore. And it's an intimacy issue. It's all about trust. And so they have a lot of issues and they keep secrets and you never really know who they are. One of their secrets is that this person checks out. You think that they don't feel. It's not that they don't feel, it's that they block it out. They block it out. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to think about you. They don't want to think about because, hey, you standing your ground and being like, well, I'm kind of disgusted by this whole thing because it became something that it didn't need to become because they didn't want to honor the connection. They wanted to stay in a low vibe energy, where this person like never wanted to take the time to like actually like get to know you. It says it again here, like exploring the unknown paths together takes courage. This person like wasn't willing to do that because hey, now I don't feel safe. See, I have feelings for you. I like you, but to actually give you the time, well, they're going to lose themselves in you. See, they never experienced a connection like this before. And they were doing everything to actually protect themselves, like by not letting you in. But what I see is that they actually hurt themselves. And now it's like they didn't want to like now it's like they don't want to miss their chance. It's like because they're like, well, I still have feelings for you. You don't have feelings for me, where they're actually feeling like again that they missed their chance, but they don't want to feel as if they missed their chance where they weren't thinking about missing their chance before when you were asking them to spend the time together. No, they wanted to stay in this energy. And then, what if you're going to hold back, then they're going to be able to hold back too by staying in this mindset, but then also detaching from you by, again, drinking too much, smoking too much, just blocking you out. So again, in hopes to trigger you, because then you're not going to feel their energy. They're going to act like they don't really care. Where really it's like, it's again, it was a disguise. It was a disguise. They were trying to cover up and act as if they didn't care. And that's what it is. It's like they wanted you to cave to them is what I keep seeing here. And then it's like this person's used to very toxic relationships, and for a long time they were like, "Oh, this is like a game. We break up to make up. We break up to make up. You're not really serious." It's like, and the thing is, now what it is that this person is seeing that, hey, you're serious. You're serious. And you're serious because it's like the passion now, the chemistry is going. It's like this person has intimacy and trust issues. And let me tell you something, when a person doesn't give time and they don't give energy and they keep betraying and keep playing games and keep staying in this energy where they're tacky, where we're going to see exactly how that played out. Um, well, guess what? Your feelings for them aren't the same. At one time, they were really strong. So it's almost like what we see here is like you stayed in an energy that was really like sad for a long time, where this person like acts like the victim to what they do. Okay, but what else? What did they do? It's like I want to know. It's like, well, they just stayed that kept the connection in a place of imbalance by creating illusions where they're really truly afraid if you get close to them that you'd reject them. So they kind of rejected you before you could reject them. And so they didn't think that they were going to have the feelings that they have. Now, all of a sudden, they're realizing that you're not like coming back. They're beginning to get impatient and they're starting to look and see again all about the risks that they took, and really that they didn't give you anything. And that's why, like, they're fearful because they didn't look at any of their behavior when they were doing it. They projected a lot because you were standing your ground. So what did this person do? They ran around with other people. It's again, every time you wouldn't give in to this person, that like the consequences for you became worse, is what I see. The first, this person, it's not that this person never had that connection. They always had the strong connection to you. What it was is that they didn't know what to do with this strong connection. And, it was all about them getting things on their terms. Because relationships like that, this don't really, exist in their world. So this person never expected to like fall for you the way that they have. All these games has really just pushed this person like further and further and further away from you. And I believe that like this was the final straw. Once they didn't give you the time and you feel like they were sleeping around and they didn't, and they were just in that energy, it created a lot of like trauma for you because this person did have a very strong, you did have a very strong connection to them. But they did a lot of things to try to make you jealous, to get you to react, to again do everything to kind of manipulate you to do what they wanted by creating a lot of fear and never looking at how they treated you until now, until they pushed it to the point that you're like, oh, I'm over this. That you like fucking disgust me. And that's what this person believed. They were like, they always believed that you would see that because they were like, I left you before you left me. So you see, this person's very much in their ego. They don't want people to see, like their feelings. They don't want to be vulnerable, but they have feelings. But it was more all about them, like being able to stay in this low energy, and that doesn't fit for this strong spiritual connection. You would have to lower your energy. You didn't lower your energy, so it was like they kept doing things to try to, like, again, really make you do it. Because it's like they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, is what I see. So we have to say how this person, well, it's again, this person is realizing that you are the love of their life and that you are in their dreams and that they miss you and that they wish that they could start over, but they know that this is the end because, they acted like they didn't know what they wanted and that, you know, friends, this person asked a lot of their friends and family and other people their opinions and if this person's connected to like a karmic or if they have very sick family, whatever, it's like friends and family disapprove of this connection. Someone disapproves of this connection and is getting in this person's ear. So they're not even confident. So they're not confident to begin with this type of energy and they're used to this low vibe energy. They meet you and they're like thought for sure because of the connection that you were going to give in. And what happened is that all their little games pushed you further away. When they're going to fix this, they would have to come back and fix it, not care about what friends and families. They pull away because there's a lot of things going on in their life where they're overwhelmed. And, they do like that love that you used to give them that's it's no longer there. They feel empty, and that's what happens when we do that. Now again, for some of you that there was a third party that's trying to convince them that they're the soulmate. And that could be, again, a karmic, someone that they've been with before, someone that they've, considered like family. So this person, like, it doesn't, I feel like they want you, but they also want to stay in that world. And so they have sexual fantasies about you, which means that they compartmentalize. So they're not getting what they want from whatever they're connected to that's influencing them. But that's not the only thing that's holding this person back. This person wants everything on their terms because guess what? They get to stay in a low vibe energy. Now, there may be a karmic that allows them to stay in that low vibe energy. I feel like for some there are. For others, they're not. This person just likes to be able to be free. but they still have a connection to you, and that's the thing is they're afraid of commitment. And that's the issue. So they like everything on their terms, which is unfair. So this is what we see. We don't see them doing anything because, hey, that requires change. But what we do see is that there is someone that daydreams a lot, stays in the fantasy realm, and then just runs around with a lot of other people. Because what they're really afraid of is rejection, because they know that they really can't come back from how they treated you. Because they can feel it. Because when you have a connection to somebody and it's a spiritual connection, you can feel when their energy is around you and you can feel when it's not. And you can also feel when it's changed from love to disgust. And this person is seeing that. It's like because you're seeing them for who they are, that they were supposed to be a divine counterpart with that type of connection, and they just shit all over it. And there's a sense that you're looking at them like, yeah, you shit all over it because that's who you are. Like you're like, well, I don't even know why I would be connected to that. There's a sense of disgust, like, and from all this person's betrayal to get what they want, to get the upper hand, to get you to again, like become subservient to what they want. And they thought that they were so slick too. That's the irony. But really, what they did was show you exactly who they are, which is I don't trust them at all now. That's your energy now. Like they can't do anything to like actually bring that back. It's not never gonna come back. So we look at your inner child wound card. So we see mistrust, we see friendship, we see shame, we see suppression, we see optimism, but we also see oppression and frustration. So obviously, I mean, being brought up in an environment where there's shame, there's going to be self-sabotaging behaviorisms. It's also because you were like not just suppressed, but oppressed. And that's done by force. And I feel like it was not just one person. I feel like it could have been like how the family dynamic played out for some of you. And for others, it was just, hey, it was just me and that parent. There wasn't anything else. But the oppression didn't allow you to have your unique unfoldment process, didn't make you be able to be your truth because, hey, like every time you tried to, that like people misunderstood you. There was a sense of, again, if I don't like what I hear, and I don't, so you could have been into the spiritual arts and someone's like, you're into witchcraft. I'm going to oppress you. I'm going to, like, you're not going to do that. Or you could say, I always wanted to be a hairdresser. No, you're not going to do that. Or like whatever it is that you wanted to do, then they said, no, you're not going to do that. But this oppression is also, no, you're not going to do that. And you're a piece of shit. And I'm going to bully you. I'm going to hold you down. I'm going to do something physically to get into your way, to fuck up your life. So you had someone in your life, some family member that did that, that suppressed you, that wanted to keep you in this energy of shame and where you were going to be frustrated. And that's obviously, listen, then you're going to attract people that really aren't friends, but are frenemies. Because what happens is if you weren't taught that you were allowed to be yourself, there's an essence of you don't really know who you are, and also not really feeling safe. And so we don't want to have to feel out our friends first. We're like, oh, I'm going to feel my friend out and I don't trust them. Um, because what you're doing is you're not teaching anyone how to treat you. When you meet a person, you teach a person how you want to be treated by how you're treating yourself, not by focusing on what that person's going to do. So there was a sense of recreating the same type of dynamics within relationships because, hey, as part of the survival mechanism, it's like, well, you were, suppressed and oppressed and that was done by force and made to feel bad and shame and misunderstood to the point that shame creates self-sabotaging energy. So even if you are optimistic, you're still going to have difficulty manifest in your life because those wounds need to be integrated. Otherwise, they continue to play out as karmic themes. So you're like, I don't know, I'm a good person. I give out, but I feel like people don't give that same energy. And Spirit says, because you didn't integrate the spiritual lesson and really transmute that negative energy. Remember, transmutation means embody a new consciousness. You're in physical form to learn and manifest. If you're seeing the same karmic theme continue to play out, it's because there's a core belief that you're stuck in, that's not true. And then the habit and behaviorism too is in alignment. So you may be suppressing yourself and not just doing it, but by shaming yourself, where, hey, you have to allow your unique unfoldment process to find yourself. You're not giving yourself the time. You're putting the cart before the horse. You're saying, like, I should have it, when really we go out and we find ourselves, right? That's what life's about. It's creating ourselves. So let's see. So the spirit says that for you, again, the spiritual lesson is to be vulnerable. And that's really hard to do, like being open to, but like being open in general to other people. But spirit says being open to healing your faults is your true strength. Embrace your authenticity. Like everyone has wounds. It's again, it's really what gives us flavor. A lot of times, it's once we integrate those wounds, we become better people. So it's all about perception, right? So when we are stuck in a perception that keeps us limited, that makes us feel separate from our creator, which is just that energy of unconditional love, when we're at ease, we can resonate, like, and we're saying, oh, I'm in the flow, everything's working out, and you see the signs and the synchronicities, you know you're in alignment, even if the money isn't there yet, even if like everything else is in alignment. You're able to tune in, and Spirit says it's about trusting, but not trusting in anyone except for your creator, not trusting in anyone except for the power of the universe, the power of God, really, in the power that's inside of you is what spirit is saying. And sometimes that requires going into the unknown, open your heart to the new, where true growth occurs. Like you don't really know who you are. So spirit says, hey, if someone oppressed you and suppressed you, you better believe that you don't even know half your talents, half your gifts. You don't know. So that means you're only looking at your story through half a story, not even a half a story, probably a quarter of a story, and saying, well, there really isn't enough. Well, that's kind of boring. Like, oh, like I'm not really seeing it. And Spirit says, well, you're not going to see it until like you go out into the world and you let your spirit guide you through your gut, through your intuition. You go out, you connect, and you see it opens up the porthole within your third eye that allows you to imagine, that allows you to quantum jump into a new reality. But Spirit says you're not really doing that, because even though you're away from that experience, if you're attracted to someone that like what they wanted to have their cake and eat it too. They thought, oh, I'm going to get things my way. And that would be oppressing you. And Spirit says you're protected. No one can stop you. Don't worry. The ships in the harbor are nice, but that's not what you're made for. Spirit says go out into uncharted waters, evoke your curiosity. Again, venture with confidence. You don't know who you are. We can't alchemize the energy. You have to put something in replace of that negative energy. You're an energy being. Spirit says you can't just get rid of negative energy. It doesn't work that way. You have to integrate the spiritual lesson because you're a spiritual being having a human experience. Otherwise, that karmic theme continues to play out where you're like, I can't have love. I can't make money. Like that karmic theme, but that's a perception. And it means you have to do something different. And Spirit says, how would you know what to do unless you experienced? Spirit, we got two cards here. Three, and really, Spirit saying you're protected. It's okay. It's time to alchemize the energy. It's like you turn that adversity into positive energy, turn that negative energy into positive energy because you see yourself differently. You see and experience differently. And then you're able to flow with grace. It's not about making the environment strong, Spirit says. It's about you becoming strong. It's about you. Um, being able to go with the flow of life. It's through your passion for life. And how would you find your passion for life unless you went into uncharted waters and tried different things? You wouldn't. Go into the unknown. What are you afraid of? You are divinely protected. It's time to integrate all facets of your well-being, meaning you had fragmentation. And that fragmentation was a reflection, like this person was a reflection of that broken part of you that you're like, oh, it's just broken. And Spirit says, no, it's not. You don't know what it's there, but the mind's not going to say that there's nothing there, because if there's nothing there, you're dead. So the mind is going to say, it's just broken. It just doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. It's defective. There's not enough. It's going to stay in a lower energy because it says, "Hey, it's better than dead." So we're going to take the defective. But then life continues to play out with these experiences that are making you feel as if you're broken and defective. When Spirit says that's not a reality, that's a crazy reality that you're living. Would you choose to relive that reality? No, you wouldn't choose to live that reality. So Spirit says, let's see how we can integrate that spiritual lesson. Let me bring this very imbalanced person to you. And let me trick you at first and make you think that they're a twin flame. And let's see what you do. And Spirit says, it's all to help you integrate these lower energies because you wouldn't go back in time. We wouldn't get that experience for that parent or that family member that oppressed us and suppressed us and didn't let us have our natural unfoldment process. We get to actually see ourselves through a different lens when we act different in situations where people have treated us the same way. And it's very empowering. And we can put something in place of that emptiness because it's not really empty. It's just we don't know. We're not conscious to it, and maybe because we haven't found it. So remember, we're down here in physical form to remember who we are. We already actually know. It's through the spiritual walk we begin, oh, I remember. And sometimes we meet people along the way that, hey, yeah, you have a spiritual connection to you. It's like, I don't know how I know you, but I know you. And it's again, those are the people that you usually have to watch out for because, like, that could be a karmic. Spirit says, understand it's all about knowing that there is no separation from you and your creator, that you are the light. Always have hope no matter the ordeal and have faith in a better future. Again, especially when it comes to this connection, that you turn the darkness into light, and that's what you did with this connection. And you open your heart to others and to God, and you are spiritually strong, which Spirit keeps saying that, like, you're strong. You are meant to be strong. So draw on the light to you and shine with all your being because there is no separation. You can have whatever it is that you want. The only limitations are you. And if you're only seeing half your story, you're saying, well, there's not really enough, or I'm not really fulfilled in your work. Maybe you say, well, I'm really busy, but I'm not fulfilled anywhere. But that's again, we're then filling our life with things that really aren't going to manifest into much. If we're, filling it with buying things or, our appearance or, things again that are superficial is what I'm getting at. Now you may say, well, fixing up my house is not superficial, but Spirit says everything when a lot of times people really care about the appearance of everything, when they feel like really flawed within themselves because that's where the illusion of perfect comes into play when really there is no perfect. that we all have our unique unfoldment process. But if we were brought up in an environment where we were oppressed, and not just oppressed, but suppressed, meaning you were physically, emotionally, psychologically pushed down, the Spirit says, then you don't know who you are fully. So, where you feel empty and that it's not enough, you may not say, well, it's empty, but you say, well, it's not really fulfilling. So you can feel that it's off. And Spirit says it's about then venturing out into the unknown, finding yourself, finding the things that draw up the passion in you that brings you back to the light, so that you can give and receive of love and be the energy of love, so you can attract the love that you deserve, and not this energy. But you alchemize this energy, thank God. But you can not embody a new consciousness and expect to attract a different type of being, is what Spirit's saying. You still need to go out into the unknown and find yourself. Otherwise, you're still gonna say, "Well, I'm still attracting that energy." And Spirit says, because you haven't found your passion, and you're looking for it through a person or a thing when it's all the time inside of you, and you will know it when you find it. I'm gonna leave that there, Scorpio. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Don't tell the Virgos, because like I said, I really resonate more with you guys. I'm just saying. Anyway, check out everything in the description box. And until later or tomorrow, be true to you. Love you. Bye-bye.